Welcome, everybody. It is Start Sit, different day on this Saturday morning. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Day of the month, I guess. Let me rephrase that because it is Saturday, and this is what we do. We answer Start Sit questions on Saturdays. We've got another young fantasy mind joining us this week. Akash from YZR Fantasy is going to be helping us answer your Start Sit questions as we navigate what is now a 4-day NFL weekend slate due to all of the postponements and pushbacks for COVID cases because NFL can't apparently get this under wraps. So join us, myself, Faith, Ryan, Joe, and Akash to answer all of your Week 15 Start Sit questions.
Good morning. And welcome.
So enthusiastic.
Oh my god.
That nice Dave Kluge intro there, Faith. Seriously? Can we welcome with some fucking enthusiasm? Oh my
That is
God.
literally the worst insult, Joe.
It is. This isn't NPR fantasy. This isn't NPR fantasy football radio. It's fucking December 18th, first week of the fantasy playoffs. Can we get a little bit of excitement from my boy Akash, who's joining us for the first time?
Good
Jeez.
morning.
Now I just want to do it monone like NPR.
I was just gonna say, my God, I felt like you were about to read an obituary.
I was going to do, but you fooligans ruined it.
Oh my God. I love this show so much.
Please.
Josh doesn't know what fucking day of the week it is, apparently.
I was gonna say, I'm just happy that we're off.
No, I was trying to come up with the actual date, and then I was like,
Yeah.
wait, no, that came out wrong. I'm like,
This
all
is
right.
record time.
You were
for
off the rails before the video. Like
record time.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, once again, good morning. Happy December 18th. Happy week 15. Happy COVID apocalypse. What is happening in the world of football? I don't know. Nobody knows. It's a thing.
Omnicron capolypse.
Yep.
What was that second word? Oh.
Omnicron capolypse.
Brief housekeeping business.
Okay.
If you are on Instagram, you need to go view the Instagram reels for the lurks.
I don't even know if it's still up. I don't know if it's still
That
on
deleted
it.
my life, Joe.
Oh, it's on the reels, yeah, not on the story.
It's in the reels.
If you want to see me dressed in Clark the Lark, a big mascot costume, dancing, please actually go do that. Go like it and follow us because that would help me in my job and get
And
me
get an
bonus
ugly
checks.
sweater. Purchase.
And get an ugly sweater. Yes, please.
But my favorite part is the bird's hips.
Thank you. Yeah, I worked a lot on the hip movement.
I don't even know what the audio was, but when the bing bongs hit, I was done.
Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Yeah.
That was done. Akash, hi, welcome. Welcome to the circus.
This is a taste of what Club Fantasy brings to the table every single week.
I love it.
Heck
And
yeah.
I just want to. We were even like this last week, and we had Scottfish on. But Scott's cool.
Fantastic.
He dealt with us. I felt like we were in the room with Dad, but he was just humoring us.
And he was dropping wonderful info.
Yeah.
He was, except he forgot to tell us about the cool people he played in leagues with.
He didn't want to name drop. That's fine.
That's right. That makes him a better person than most.
He is one of the most humble people, unlike Ryan, who is self-proclaimed the most humble person.
I say I'm the best. I'm the best at being humble.
That gif I found of Drax was legitimately
Perfection.
perfect. So in case the gif I'm talking about, there's a clip of Drax. I think it's from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
It is.
Where Drax says, "I too am extremely humble," and that is Ryan Weiss.
Good time.
Before we get into business, Ryan, how much time do you need?
It's actually not that bad because of COVID.
Wow.
The injury report is nothing. So we're going to start with COVID.
Okay.
Browns, Raiders, Eagles, Washington football team, Rams, Seahawks are all postponed. You basically want to treat those players like they're questionable. They didn't cancel any games last year. I'm not expecting them to cancel any games this year, but the worst case scenario is that a player is named out for one of those games and you're not going to have a replacement. So just tread lightly. While I was doing my research on the COVID stuff, Sharp Football Analysis has a excellent COVID tracking list where they talk about vaccination status. I'm going to drop that link here after I'm done with this in all of the chat so you guys can check it out. Very well done report. DeAndre Hopkins and TJ Hawkinson are out for the remainder of the regular season. Hawkinson's just out, but Hopkins could be back for the fantasy playoffs, or for the real playoffs. My apologies. Nothing with fantasy. Quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is the only one out. Nobody's doubtful.
Oh, no.
Lamar Jackson is questionable. I know, right?
Not Daniel Jones.
Running backs. DeAndre Swift again. Elijah Mitchell again. Carlos Hyde is out. Kareem Hunt is out. So don't worry about the COVID status there. He was already ruled out. Damian Harris is out. Nobody listed as doubtful. James Conner, Leonard Fournette, Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, Tony Pollard, all listed as questionable. Wide receivers, it's not that bad of a list. I was really shocked. Emmanuel Sanders and Curtis Samuel are the only ones listed as out. Marquise Brown, DJ Moore, Sterling Shepard, Josh Reynolds, Marquez Valdez-Scantling are listed as questionable. I want to dispel a rumor I saw online yesterday because it had me do some research. I saw numerous people saying Tyler Lockett is ruled out. He is absolutely not ruled out at this point. He is on the COVID list, has every chance to play. So watch out if people are telling you Tyler Lockett's out. And I don't know how you want to handle him going into, I believe they're on the Tuesday game, but just he's not out. Tight ends. Darren Waller is out. Nobody is listed as doubtful. Zach Ertz and Brevin Jordan are questionable. Kickers, all is right in the world. Nick Folk is listed as questionable. That is the only kicker that we need to talk about right now.
Speaking of tight ends, I just want to, in case y'all missed it, Donald Parham was diagnosed with a concussion. So
yeah, they could.
Yeah, I didn't see the hit. I heard it was pretty nasty.
Could have.
I was watching Spider-Man. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't that big of a hit. He just knocked.
It
his head on the
wasn't.
ground.
It was how his head went backwards.
Yeah, that's what. Because I literally watched it 3 times and I backed it up and I watched it slowly and I was like, it didn't look that. Even when the way his head hit, it didn't look as bad as you would expect it to have been for him to immediately seize.
Yeah, it was bad, but he's all good now. He put something out that's put on an Instagram story or something saying that he's all good, gonna come back better than ever, as every NFL player always says.
Always said.
It reminded me of that Lions running back from about 10 years ago, whose name leaves me right now. But
Job at best.
Yeah, where was it him? Where his arm just got stuck in the air after the concussion. It was the most terrifying thing I'd really ever seen on a football field at that point because his arm was just up.
Yeah,
and it's exactly what happened with Parham.
Yep. Questions?
Yes. Let's go.
You got it, Faith. You got it, Faith. I'll cue it up for you. Bang, right there.
I literally was right there, Joe.
I mean, you were taking a little bit. I just wanted to make sure we got
it would have been better if you knocked it off as he put it on.
Okay.
I don't know why I get removed from the show.
Because I can. So is Joe, I'm gonna boot you again just for funsies. Waddle was hurt, so he picked up Julio for his flex spot. Was that a good idea or too much of a risk, Akash?
That's fine. Yeah, Julio is still Julio Jones. When he's healthy, he's good. He's not playing full time, I don't think, just because of the hamstring and they're kind of treading lightly. But as the season goes on, I expect him to be fine unless he re-aggravates it. So that's a fine flex play.
Right.
And I think he can end up as a wide receiver 2 down the stretch, just because as he gets more healthy and starts playing more snaps, then he's still Julio Jones. But while Waddle's out with COVID, you can rock with Julio for sure. But if Waddle ends up playing, then I would play him over Julio.
Wheezy.
Yeah, I completely agree. Akash basically hit it on the head. It's if he completes the game, it's a fine flex play. 4 for 6 in his first real action last week. Only 33 yards, which you expect more out of Julio, but that's also an indictment of Ryan Tannehill at this point. But in full PPR leagues, I'm all aboard with Julio. I actually have him as a top 20 wide receiver this week.
Joey.
I mean, as bold, you have him as a top 20 wide receiver. I barely put him in the top 30 at this point. I mean, we've been saying, once he gets over his hamstring injury, he'll be fine. That was in 2018. We started saying that. So we're gonna stop. We're gonna cut the leash now at this point because he can't figure out what's wrong with his hamstring. It is simply just getting re-aggravated every single time he's out there on the field, and you're rolling the dice if he's actually going to be on the field. Now, I'd rather roll the dice on a guy that might be on the field like a Dalvin Cook or a George Kittle, not a Julio Jones who has been less than stellar since he started re-aggravating that hamstring injury back in 2018. He's still Julio Jones. He can still do all these amazing things. The issue is he needs to be on the field for, I would say, at least 60% of the snaps in order to do that. As a flex, I think it's totally fine. At this point, if you got Julio off of waivers, congratulations. I don't know why someone
with the 10-man full PPR.
Even in a 10-man, that still feels weird that Julio was on waivers because Julio's arguably the second best receiver of his generation behind Antonio Brown. So the fact that he was on waivers was a little ridiculous. So as a flex play, I don't hate it. I just wouldn't expect as much of what Ryan and Akash was saying. I would maybe look for like 10 points. I don't 4 for 60 I feel is reasonable. And if that weather gets a little crazy there in Pittsburgh, and also if Pittsburgh's defense decides to show up, who knows which Pittsburgh team is going to show up. That also plays a crucial aspect into this whole thing.
Hudson.
I mean, whatever points you're going to get from Julio, whether it's 3 or 6 or 16, it's going to be better than the 0 you're getting from Waddle at this point. So
I hate you. I hate you. Give real analysis, you dickhead.
That is real analysis. Like,
oh, look, this person's hurt. You shouldn't play him because he's hurt. This person will score more points because they are healthy.
I just want to
thank
Waddle's,
you.
Am I wrong? Waddle's not hurt.
He's not hurt. COVID. He was out with. He was placed on COVID IR.
And then I thought I read this morning he's feeling better, but no negative test yet. So that's not great for him because it would have to be today that they would activate him. So.
He needs to get a negative test today.
Yeah. So my guess is he's going to be out this week, which sucks being first round of the playoffs. But
yeah.
It is a good matchup for Tennessee. I will say that they definitely are treading lightly with him. He was third in terms of wide receiver snap counts last week, even though he did score the most fantasy points among Tennessee wide receivers. But 7.3 in PPR, not the best. And I feel like in 10-man leagues where you should have a little bit more depth on waivers, you could probably pluck somebody off waivers that can likely outscore Julio this week.
I actually just want to throw a name out. It's Devonta Parker or Julio Jones. So let's who would you rather? Let's play our classic game, Joe.
Oh,
so Akash, Parker, if Waddle's out, Parker or Julio?
Parker.
It's Parker for me as well.
Yeah.
I feel like by default I have to say Devonta Parker, and I don't like that I say it. So Devonta Parker.
I mean, they're playing the Jets. It's Devonta Parker.
Hold on. Kendrick Bourne is 100% on your waivers. Kendrick Bourne is a better play than both of them this week. Go get Kendrick Bourne.
Nah.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Kendrick Bourne is a smash on Thrive Fantasy right now, too. His over-under tonight is 37 yards. He's going to do that in one catch.
Please go.
Preview of the video coming after the show.
Please
today.
go get, if you need a guy, go get Kendrick Bourne. He is my upside receiver this week. I have full confidence Kendrick Bourne has an amazing week.
Really?
I don't hate it.
Yes, full confidence. Indy's defense is a pile of garbage. Carson Wentz turtles up when he plays good football teams. So,
did you just say turtles up?
Turtles up. Yep.
Bourne's had
right back into his shell.
Bourne's had like a few good games this year, and like some games where he scored multiple touchdowns. But on the year, he's kind of been like
awful
a mirage. Where
he's boomer bust. He absolutely is.
Yeah.
He's not even boomer bust. He's like a wide receiver 4 that it's not really interesting to me. But
I mean, I'm looking at he's wide receiver 30 in PPR.
Right, but if 12 points per game, then he'll drop down. Right.
I don't know. I'm just so he had a boom game in week 10, bust game in week 11, boom game in 12, bust in 13. They had a bye last week. So all I'm saying is, by looking at historical statistics over the last 4 weeks,
it's trending towards
a boom week. That's all I'm saying.
It's the Matt Ryan
Unless
paradox.
the boom week came when they didn't play and we're missing it.
Oh,
Josh, shut up.
I am here to poke holes in your argument, Joe. We know this. We've been doing this show now for 4 years.
No.
Okay, question. Kendrick Bourne over Marquise Brown?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
What?
Ryan.
No.
I'm
Go
so
Hollywood.
I'm so controversial. Yes.
Josh.
I'm not starting Bourne over any of the guys we named. Let me just throw that out.
Wow.
Yeah, you get it. Thank you.
All right. Ben,
like,
if you want to
with
win your
Tyler Huntley at quarterback, I feel like he zeroes
Yeah,
in on Bateman, which is really going to
Well,
keep
and Mark
Brown's
Andrews
ceiling to a minimum.
as of 19 hours ago, Brown was listed as questionable
he's always
Yeah,
questionable.
Yeah, he's been questionable for a month.
due to illness,
He's the
Yeah.
Nick Folk of
non-COVID
receivers.
illness.
Yeah,
Questionable
Hollywood's
every
been
week.
Great all year though. I don't think you can sit him. He has like 9 targets per game, 16 points per game, 26% target share. Even with downgraded quarterback with Huntley, I think he'll be fine.
Listen, I agree with everything you guys are saying. If you want to win your fantasy playoffs, you got to go balls out. And to me, Kendrick Bourne is a balls out move. I told Ryan to play freaking Cameron Curl in his 4-eyed fantasy championship last year, and that put him over the edge. Who would have
Did it.
thought? Cameron Curl.
Cameron Curl's
Is
good safety.
And now he's on
Yes,
the COVID
sir.
list.
Was
Oh,
that the game where he scored a touchdown?
Yeah, I think it was against
Yeah.
Arizona. He had the
Yeah.
interception, then a fumble
Swift
recovery.
out for the rest of the season, or do we know that yet?
Who?
Who?
DeAndre Swift.
No. They haven't announced the rest of the season.
I mean,
Uh,
I would hope that. Well, I mean, for his sake, I hope he's out for the rest of the season. For fantasy manager's sake, that would kind of suck. But there's no reason to play him.
Devontae Parker or Hollywood Brown?
Devontae Parker.
Brown.
Boss. Let's
Josh?
I would take Parker too.
Okay. So Bossman Fat wants to know JT
boy.
over or under 19.5 points against the New England defense. Akash.
That's tough.
Hi, Trixie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. I need to know if this is full PPR or not.
Okay,
Let's
played as
see.
full PPR. I think Bossman plays in full PPR leagues.
I think I'd say
We did
I
not
don't
get
know.
details.
I'm not a big pay attention to how good a defense is, but the Patriots seem good. So I would say, I'll say over it. I think they'll ride him pretty much because, like you said, Carson Wentz is not a guy to carry the Colts over a good team, and I'm firmly in the camp that running backs don't matter, but sometimes they get a bunch of carries when the team likes to give them a bunch of carries, and Jonathan Taylor does that sometimes, and that lets him fall in the end zone, and sometimes they dump it down to him. So I'd say over.
Weezy.
I know Joe is just about to go in on what Belichick does to the best weapon, but I just quickly did the math. I have him at 18 full PPR fantasy points, so under, but just.
Take it away, Joe.
Jonathan Taylor will find the end zone. To me, that's not even a question. He'll find the end zone. So there's 6 points for you. I don't think he goes over 100. And again, that's the fact that the Patriots just take away the best weapon.
Doesn't everyone do that though?
Give me another weapon on the team.
What'd you say, Akash?
Everyone does that though. That's the
Do they though?
Not how
Do
the
they?
Patriots do.
Is
Yeah.
Belichick
That is
much
the
better than every
Patriot
single
way,
coach?
yo.
He's a good coach, right? But is he a super genius who can figure out
Yes.
everything about every other player?
Yes.
I give
Or
you
does
Matt
100%.
Castle.
Every other team
Yes.
plans to take away the best team's weapon because that's what you do. You
They
give
plan,
Look-
but they do not succeed.
Look
Belichick
at
does.
Tyreek Hill's and Travis Kelce's statistics against the New England Patriots over the last 3 seasons. They suck. They're terrible against the Patriots because Belichick neutralizes them in the game. The Chiefs can't score against the Patriots because Belichick has the perfect game plan for them every single time. Jonathan, all you need, put 8 in the box, and you're blitzing Juwan Bentley in the A gap every single time. You're sending 5, and you put 3 in on the second level, and you bring Kyle Duggar into the box. It's that simple. That
I
is
love
how
when
you
Joe
beat the
talks
Colts.
IDP. my favorite.
J.C. Jackson, 101 on Michael Pittman. Sorry, Pittman, you had a great season. You're doggo. You can't play against J.C. Jackson. He's been one of the best DBs in the NFL this year. They don't have a second weapon. I love T.Y. Hilton to the end of time. He can't play against any team right now outside of the Houston Texans because he's just old age. Paris Campbell's a walking wine glass. Ashton Doolin? Are we really worried about fucking Ashton Doolin?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to score.
Yeah, Doolin's really good.
Doolin might score right. He'll be on Jalen Mills. Of course he's going to
That's
score.
what I'm saying.
Anyone can score on Jalen Mills. all 5 of us collectively could score on Jalen Mills. It's not even a question.
I could not.
You could 100% score on Jalen Mills. You want to know why? Because his eyes are going to be locked in the backfield like an idiot. Jonathan Taylor will get neutralized because if Belichick does what he has done his entire career in terms of coaching strategy, he will load the box. He will neutralize their
Carson
best.
Wentz win the game.
Yes, you will. And I had the privilege of calling a local basketball, collegiate basketball game last night, and
cool.
They asked me, what would you do in this situation? There was a girl, she had 23 points. I said, don't let your best player score. Let the second, third, fourth best player beat you. That's what they did. You don't let their best player beat you. I'd rather lose to an Ashton Doolin 60-yard touchdown catch instead of a Jonathan Taylor 5-yard touchdown run. I don't want Taylor to have over 80 yards. He's going to find the end zone. You just have to accept that fact, but you don't want him to find it twice or even 3 times. I don't think Jonathan Taylor has more than 15 points.
I don't have Jonathan Taylor on my Scott Fishbowl roster, so I would really just love for him to have a trash game.
I'm going to go ahead and count.
I have JT in a bye this week, so I'm all for JT having a bad week.
No, he can have a great
I remember, week. I think.
No, Ryan. No.
I don't remember who did it, but I think it might have been like Adam Harstad or something, but someone did a study a couple years ago on if Belichick is like really good against opposing number 1 weapons, and they use weapons really loosely, like the best running back, if that's the best weapon, or the best wide receiver. And like it turns out that there's nothing significant there to say that, yeah, this is a substantial narrative. So it really is just a narrative. So I don't think that it's that simple. Like what you said, like, oh, it's so easy. You just, whoever you say, because I didn't pay attention to the defensive players, like in the A gap, and then put Jackson on Pittman. Like if it was that easy, every team would do it and every team would stop Taylor, but they don't, because every defense game plans for the other offense, and every offense game plans for the other defense.
Akash, what we have learned over years of watching this game, NFL head coaches are morons. We have learned this every year in and year. We watch the game. We say ready. Here's your perfect thing. This just happened Thursday night. Brandon Staley, right? Beautiful kick return by Andre Roberts. I was scared shitless when he had to return it. Obviously, he had to because he was on the 1. I didn't realize it was Andre Roberts. 75-yard kickoff return. Great way to start the game. Your team's hyped up. 2 running plays puts them on the 5-yard line. What do? 4 straight passing plays after gaining 19 yards on 2 carries. Who in their right mind would throw the football there when you gain 19 yards on 2 carries?
They're good plays. What do you mean?
They were terrible plays. They ran a fade route to Mike Williams, which is statistically the worst play in an NFL playbook.
But then they ran the
Then they ran
to the end zone, and then they ran the
I don't know why
crossing route.
The rest of us are
dropped it, and then they ran the play to Parham, and he dropped it. So if it was been caught, you would have called it a good play, and that's just the result instead of the process.
Let's move on.
I still haven't answered this question yet. Like
we know you're over.
No, I'm gonna really lay this out here. I mean, we you guys have talked about it. He shuts down the best weapon. Week 3, Alvin Kamara had over 20 fantasy points, 89 rushing yards, 1 receiving touchdown, 3 catches. Leonard Fournette in week 4, 92 rushing yards, 3 catches, 47 yards. And then 3 times since week 10, they've allowed over 99 rushing yards to Dearness Johnson.
Not the top weapon.
Dontrell Hilliard.
Not the top
and
weapon.
And Deonta Foreman.
Not the top weapon.
I don't
that's
know
my point. That's my point.
Yeah, because Kamara's not the best weapon.
Alvin Kamara destroys this entire argument.
So Kamara had 20 points, correct?
Yep.
19 and a half. 19 and a half is the line there, big guy. And also, the pass was terrible in week 3.
Guess what? 20's over 19 and a half.
Okay?
Right.
They were terrible in week 3.
Favorite Zola, Wilson or Tua, Akash?
You're all going to be wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Wilson or Tua?
Tua. Wait, which Wilson?
Russ.
Tua.
Definitely not Zach. That's my dad. I can guarantee you he does not have Zach Wilson on his roster. I know that for a fact.
Is that your dad, or is it your brother portraying your dad?
No, it's my dad.
Oh,
That's my dad.
Well, I never know sometimes. It gets confusing.
If it's Russ, I think I'd go Tua, just because Russ plays on, Tuesday or Monday?
Yeah, there's that whole madness.
Tuesday in LA.
And so, if they're similar tiers, and I think Tua has a fine matchup against the Jets where he can do well. I know Waddle's out, but Parker and Gesicki will be fine for him. I think that just you can roll with Tua and expect something similar because Russ hasn't been fantastic. He's been fine, and there's obviously a lot of variance with that because it's only been 30 games of him, or 3 or 4 games of him not playing well. But with the game later in the week, with the possibility anyone can get COVID, and with Lockett already on the COVID list, maybe he comes off, maybe he doesn't come off. I think you could say they're both missing their top weapon, and Tua is a lot safer of play, and you can expect pretty similar production.
Easy.
Literally made this exact call in a playoff game against Josh. So give me Tua Tagovailoa.
Joe, whoever you are.
TT. It's not original. I stole that from Dude Perfect. Their head guys, Tyler Toney. So TT. Tua Tagovailoa. I just stole that. TT.
Hudson.
So in 5 career games against the Rams in LA, not including their time in St. Louis, but in LA, he's only thrown for a touchdown in 2 of them.
He's bad.
He is absolutely terrible in LA.
But he's only played 1 game in SoFi, though.
You got to travel.
And he's never
even more.
And he's never played on.
And even in that game, he had 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So.
But did he play on a Tuesday? That's the real question. The extra 2 days of preparation, Josh. Did we put this into the mind?
I'm gonna say no, because hasn't there only ever been one other Tuesday game?
I think there was 2 or 3
there were like
Tuesday
3 or 4 of them last year.
There was a Wednesday game last year, I'm pretty sure. Didn't the Ravens and Steelers play on Wednesday?
That's what it was.
3:30 was the worst time. 3:30.
Yeah, it was a terrible time.
That.
Yeah, it was awful.
But yes, the answer is Tua.
Okay. Malachi says, pick 2. He's 11-3 and needs this win to secure the playoffs. Gaskin, Penny, AJ Dillon, or Freeman. So 2 for 2. Akash.
Damn.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a lot of Gaskin and
yeah, no, same, literally same.
Yeah.
Malachi, good luck on this one. I would like to know what the rest of your roster looks like to know whether or not I should light a candle for you or not.
He probably went the 0 RB strategy. That's why he's got these guys.
Yeah.
Or someone's on COVID, someone's hurt.
Yeah.
Or everybody is hurt
Yeah,
and on
that's
COVID
true.
if he's got to pick 2.
Gaskin and Freeman. Yeah.
Wheezy.
Trying to find Devonta Freeman. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm actually high on Devonta Freeman because Packers' run game is not that great. Freeman and Gaskin, yes.
Joe.
Yeah, I was trying to decide between Dillon or Freeman as the second guy. Freeman seems to be their go-to guy in the backfield. So, and also
they've shut everybody out the last 3 weeks. I think it's like 3 touches that he hasn't seen or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Freeman's a little older, but he has way more pep in his step than he's had in his last, 2 or 3 appearances with multiple teams.
Because he's barely played the last 2 or 3
years. And that's my point.
And then he was on the Bills in the playoffs. It was just it's been a good year for him.
It was ugly, but like since that 2015 season, I believe, he's been nothing. And it's because he had so much wear and tear, and he's such a small guy in those 2 years where he had really good years. He looked really good right now, and if he's the only guy, and if Tyler Huntley is going to need to dump it off too to Devonta Freeman, it's going to go to Devonta Freeman. So I would go. I think Gaskin also scored a touchdown in his last game against the Jets, so that's high hopes there.
Yeah, and it's the Jets, so
and it's the Jets, of course.
And if you don't have Waddle to work underneath with, then
Gaskin's your guy.
That, right?
In the game where Waddle hasn't missed a game yet, has he?
No, I think this is
okay. Because I was wondering if that game where Gaskin caught those 2 passes, if Waddle was still playing.
He was in.
Okay,
he was in there.
But
Josh,
Gaskin's still a good. So
I feel like you have to go Gaskin just because of the matchup. But I mean, we've seen time and time again when these guys end up on COVID lists that it takes a while for them to catch their breath. So crossing fingers and saying a prayer, but I would go Gaskin
twice in the first quarter though.
Yeah, right.
Not even be tired.
Yeah.
Give me Gaskin and Freeman here. I'm really down on Dillon, and it's not even because I don't like him. Like, he's going to get volume, and I think he's going to be fine. But they're using Jones more in these like spot roles that Dylan's just kind of carrying the main load at this point, and they're protecting Jones, but they're putting Jones in for these, like, I'll call them like the high leverage situations where he can break it and score.
Yeah,
and Dylan's just doing all the dirty work. Yeah.
Yeah. Jones gets all the passing situations and the red zone touches, the high value touches.
Your biggest concern,
Dylan, to be the hammer, and that's not as valuable.
Your biggest concern is that the Packers blow out in this game, because there's the slight possibility Ravens are not a great team with a backup quarterback, and then you could see a ton of Dylan in the second half. But I would rather, in that same situation, Freeman is going to see a ton of passing work. So,
okay. Our good buddy Elixirs is back with his awful standard league.
We love Elixirs.
He wants to know Rusty Penny or Elliott Double T.
Josh got mad at him for not saying Double T on
Thank you.
on Thursday.
Yeah. Spelling it correctly. Thank you, Elixirs.
You of all people have no right to criticize people on their grammar.
Spelling's not
Excuse
grammar.
you?
Spelling is part of grammar. It's all encompassed.
Spelling and grammar is what I call it. Akash!
Yeah.
What do you got?
Elliott.
Yeah.
Wheezy.
Yeah, I
you
like Penny
for a reason. So
I'd say I like Penny, but I don't like the Rams matchup. I don't like the Tuesday matchup. I don't like any of that crap. So give me Zeke.
If they even play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta go. I actually don't. I don't mind like Rashad Penny as a player, but his matchup is terrible. I don't like Zeke either, but God, if he doesn't score a touchdown against the Giants, something's really wrong with his injuries. So that does not spell well for the rest of the fantasy playoffs if you make it by this week. So Elliott.
Yeah,
Josh?
I mean, this could very easily be a week where Elliott has like 12 carries for like 35 yards, but then falls into the end zone twice on 2 short red zone carries.
Yeah.
And that alone is going to be worth it. So give me Elliott.
Let's hope.
right, that'll be.
And no Daniel Jones too. So I mean, huge day for the
exactly
for the Cowboys
game
defense.
changer. Akash, you wanted to say something?
Nah, it's just
Okay. You were trying to chime in.
Yeah, I totally agree with the fact that you just play Zeke anyway because the volume. Even if it doesn't lead to a bunch of yards per carry, I don't care about yards per carry. He's used as a good pass catcher, especially if Tony Pollard's limited, and he can score a touchdown sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to DeAndre Swift. Is he coming back? Part A. And then part B, if he is it worth keeping him on the bench? Akash.
Yeah, he could come back. They haven't shut him down for the season, so definitely a possibility he comes back. And in standard, if he's still talking about the same standard league, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be like top 5 running back, but he's still going to be like top 12-ish. I don't play at all in standard, which you should also do. But yeah, definitely.
Every guest we have on, every time Elixirs asks a question about his standard leagues, they're like, ew, don't play in standard. That's my first piece of advice.
Yes.
So
Play
thank
how
you
you
for
want to
keeping
play,
the tradition
Elixirs.
alive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
Don't let that
Shut up,
idiot
Josh.
tell you what to do. Yeah.
Give your
Although
opinion
that's
and
the whole
stand by it.
reason you're here, is to get advice from these idiots. So
I
pick and
don't
choose.
I don't mind standard leagues at all. So my only concern, we've always heard with shoulder injuries, it's pain management. So I'm wondering if the Lions are not letting Swift play, and it has nothing to do with Swift not being able to play. And thus, what the hell are they playing for, and why would you get the kid hurt? So I would say it depends on how deep your bench is and who else you can sign. I'm not rushing out to get DeAndre Swift because it's the same question I ask everybody. If DeAndre Swift is back next week or the week after the semifinals or the finals of your fantasy championship, are you going to feel comfortable putting him in your lineup? And the answer is almost certainly no. So.
Okay, brief pause before I go on to Joe.
You would?
Yeah, I would. The upside is too high to bench him. If he's available, then yeah, I'm taking him. That's in standard, maybe he's top 12, but in PPR, that's top 5.
So,
It's
okay.
like the same thing with Cook and Eckler. Like, start them because they're good players.
Yeah, and Detroit plays Atlanta week 16.
Ooh, okay. See?
I was just about to look at the matchup. Yeah.
Okay,
You want to retract that statement, Ryan?
I know Faith wants to say something, but
Thank you, Ryan.
12 points per game in standard. Yeah, I'm completely wrong, and I will retract the statement. He is at the very least worth a bench stash.
Okay, so here's my question: it's week 15? There's, including this week, three more weeks in the season. Detroit's not making the playoffs.
Nope.
So why would they put DeAndre Swift in?
Because they're the Detroit Lions. Have we not learned anything from the past 70 years of watching football in this team? They're the Detroit
we've already
Lions.
said earlier today that coaches are really freaking
idiots.
stupid.
Well, they're not.
I don't know why. Like, to me, it just makes no sense.
It's not dumb per se, because like as a team, they're not expected to make the playoffs, and so it's like, oh, what are they playing for? They're playing for their jobs and to look good add to their resumes, right? So if you're if you're a coach, you're going to play your best players and try to win, right? So I don't think that there's any reason, like on a team level, then sure you can bench Swift, but Campbell is going to say, yeah, put our good players in if he's healthy enough to play.
I was going to say there's something to the Dan Campbell in all of this. They want to win these next 4 games, 3 that matter for fantasy, but these next 4. So I agree. You're going to play your best player. So you guys have now caused me to fully backtrack on all of the shit I said 5 minutes ago. So but that's good. Right. And that's why we talk these things out, because you're right. The Dan Campbell in all of this is you have to, let's be clear, he's DeAndre Swift, but he's still auditioning for Dan Campbell. If Dan Campbell is going to be the coach, he wants to know he has guys who are going to go out there and bite kneecaps, and sitting on the bench with a shoulder injury ain't going to get that done.
I guess it all depends on the injury and whether it's what they're telling us, if it's really an injury, if it's something that they're just resting him hoping it'll fix, or if they are just he's done but they won't say anything.
They'd put him on IR if he was done, because then they save a roster spot.
Well, it all depends on if he's, because maybe they thought he would progress, so they didn't want to put him on IR because they didn't want to have to wait that minimum time, and they were just holding off to see what happens, and then he's not progressing like they thought he would. Who knows? Joe,
here's your logical analysis, Elixirs.
From you?
Yeah, logical analysis. Here you go. Should the Lions sit DeAndre Swift and not let him play another down this season? Yes. Will they do that? No. They are the Detroit Lions. They will do the exact opposite of what you think is going to happen, and then they'll backtrack and do like halfway of what that opposite was supposed to be. They're not going to do anything of what you actually thought they were going to do, or even the opposite of what you thought they were going to do. Yes, keep him on your bench. He is DeAndre Swift. If he plays in Week 16 and he's not on your bench because someone picked him up, you're going to hate yourself for it. So keep him on your bench. At this point, there's not another running back out there most likely that is even worth going to pick up. And if there is, drop like the 7th wide receiver on your roster or the 6th wide receiver on your roster, right? Don't drop the guy you probably spent your 2nd round pick on, if I had to take a guess. Maybe if you were in the back end of the 1st, you maybe swung high for DeAndre Swift if you really liked him. He was one of your top 2 picks. Do not drop this guy. He is really good when he plays. And like Josh said, he plays Atlanta. If the Detroit Lions decide to play hard against Atlanta, DeAndre Swift is going to be big in that game plan. So keep DeAndre Swift on your team.
I will say in standard, Swift is very meh. He's RB 18 in standard versus RB 10 in PPR.
That points the game really
like he is used very much as a pass catcher in this offense. But again, that's still an RB2, and you want that upside really on your bench. You're not going to get that from really anybody else on waivers at this point in time. So,
yeah,
is that in points per game or just
overall?
It's RB 17 in points.
I don't think that's.
It's RB 17 in points per game though. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And there's not very many like low volume guys. There's the worst is Christian McCaffrey at 7 games. Everybody else has played the same amount as him. So.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Start 2 in a PPR for Justin. Gibson, Zeke, Stevenson, or Devonta, Akash.
I check the matches. I think Stevenson.
It's bad.
Stevenson.
Gibson's at Philly
on Tuesday.
We already talked about
on
Zeke.
Tuesday. That's the Tuesday conundrum.
Yeah.
And then Devante missed practice. I think he practiced limited yesterday.
Yeah.
But
he's probably going to play.
I'm expecting 60-40 or 50-50 between him and Melvin, with Devante being the 50 or 40 because he was limited, and the fact that they went back to Melvin when he came back from the injury.
Stupid.
So
Oh my gosh.
I think Zeke and Stevenson.
Okay. Ryan, starting with you, just because I'm looking at the time and the amount of questions.
All right, we got to blow through.
Lightning
No,
round.
we're good. We got plenty of time.
We do not have plenty
of
time, Joe.
I was actually
Lightning
gonna
round is
even in
20
lightning
minutes.
round.
I don't have much
Let me
analysis
host.
to give anyway. I'm not touching any Washington football team player at all, even if it wasn't a Tuesday game. That team's a mess. Zeke and Stevenson, I completely agree.
Joe,
Javonte Williams and Reminder Stevenson.
Josh.
I was down on Stevenson prior to the Harris news, but I think that really bumped Stevenson up. So I think I'm going to probably go him and Zeke. I do like Gibson's matchup because Philly can't stop the run, but
You can't stop.
it's
the
Tuesday, so
The bowling ball of
rather-
human that is Ramondre Stevenson will destroy the Indianapolis Colts.
Boom.
He's projected. MFL has him projected at like 12.67 points.
Yeah, he'll get 2.5
It's
times that.
decent. It's like I'm
I'm starting him
expecting
in Scat Fishbowl, so
60%
Scott scoring? I have no idea.
opportunity and have 2 targets. It'll be fine.
Stevenson's gonna have a good week.
okay. Hunter Henry versus the Colts, Njoku versus Vegas, or Everett versus the Rams in a PPR. Akash.
Henry. I mean, it's all the same bet. One plays now and one plays both of them play on Monday and Tuesday. And so, yeah, it's all the same bet. Hunter Henry could be fine volume and some end zone targets. They all suck, so just pick the one playing now and the guy who sees end zone targets.
Yep. Same player caliber. One is, I mean, Henry's actually ahead of both of these two anyway, and he's playing, and he's playing today. So,
Joe.
All I remember is that David Njoku put up a goose egg when Ryan said to start him one week, and Gerald Everett is Gerald Everett. This Hunter Henry. This one's pretty easy.
Josh.
I do like Njoku this week. I just like Hunter Henry a little better. So I'm going to go ahead.
Okay.
You like Njoku with who's their third string quarterback? Real quick,
Mullins.
Nick
Yeah.
Mullins. Remember Nick
Nick
Mullins,
Mullins
the
is
greatest
great.
third string quarterback in
Yeah,
Philadelphia
and
Eagles
he's
history.
the guy who made George Kittle.
So, I'm okay with that.
Oh,
So, firefighter, welcome.
Yes.
You
Woo.
just got baptism by fire. So firefighter wants to know, should they start Devonte, who will share carries with Gordon, or Stevenson, who will have the backfield all to himself in a full PPR? Akash. I
Same
feel
as the
like
other
this was
question,
just
though.
discussed.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Stevenson.
yes. Start both somehow, but Stevenson.
Josh.
I'm with Joe on this
Combine
one.
the
I would
running
much
back,
rather
that'd be
start
perfect.
both if you can, but if you
Yeah.
have to choose, then go Stevenson.
Stevenson. But if you can find a way to get both of them in there, yes.
If you have other options, let us know what your roster is, and they will tell you who to move around, if anybody.
Wait, I'm
Give
going to
us,
interrupt real quick.
let us
Oh.
be co-owners of your league. So
There you
give-
go. I'm
give
going to
us-
interrupt real quick. Firefighters new. I see you're over on Twitch. Jump over on our YouTube page. Hit subscribe. If we hit 300 subscribers by January 1st, we're giving away the black Tampa Bay Buccaneers autographed Chris Godwin jersey. It is straight fire. I'm not allowed to win it, so one of you guys should. So jump over on our YouTube. If you're new, hit subscribe. We would appreciate it.
I swear to you, Josh, if you ever buy anything that's autographed by Tom Brady and you don't gift it to me, you're dead.
Okay,
to
first
me.
off, why would I spend that much money?
Mooney
make that
or
much, yeah.
Van Jefferson in a
I've known
PPR.
him longer
Akash,
than you.
your point.
Mooney.
I was going to say, Akash, this is putting your Tuesday theory to challenge right here, right?
Mooney's fine volume. It's just the whole Chicago never passing thing, but Mooney also has fine volume. And then Van Jefferson, I'm still not convinced he's really that good. And so sometimes he sees a deep target that makes his week or a touchdown. And
You're not wrong.
otherwise, it's not much for Van Jefferson. So I'll roll with Mooney.
Sorry, I was reading ahead a question.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I feel the
love
same way.
Mooney.
And Allen Robinson, as of today, is still on the COVID list, so it may be only Mooney.
They play Sunday?
They play Monday night.
No,
Oh,
Mooney
they're
plays
Monday
Monday night.
On
But that was a scheduled Monday night game.
Yeah, they're the actual.
Yeah.
Monday
Yes.
game.
Okay. And then
Not the Monday
Odell tested
game.
negative yesterday, he said.
Yeah, Odell, they are saying, should be active now.
That's actually
Let's
good
go.
for Van Jefferson.
Yeah, because he can be the third then.
I benched Odell for Demarcus Robinson in a league.
Oof.
where I have to start Kansas City Chiefs players. It's
Why?
like
Hold on. Like it's a league requirement or it's
Yeah.
a personal. Oh wow.
everyone
That's-
gets assigned a team, or like you pick a team at the beginning of the year, and you have to start a couple players from that team. So I already
Wow.
have Travis Kelce and Edwards-Helaire going, but then I just threw DeMarcus Robinson in there because I get a bonus point.
So
for
you
every-
didn't have to start DeMarcus Robinson.
Oh,
Well, it
Hold
was either
on.
him
You get the
Okay.
bonus point
or
for
Brevin
every-
Jordan.
Joe.
Oh, okay. Brevin Jordan.
Joe.
Darnell Mooney. If you tune into the show
Question
2 weeks
mark?
ago, no, that was real. Darnell Mooney. If you tuned into the show 2 weeks ago, you might have heard the beautiful name Cameron Dantzler sweared out about 5 times in a row on the show. Cameron Dantzler plays the
There's a
game with
preview
his eyes
clip on our
closed.
Twitter page.
Yes, there's a preview clip on our Twitter page. Cameron Dantzler, his visor, if he wears one, is too dark because he clearly can't see anything that's in front of him. He is so bad. He is atrocious. The only 2 things you need to worry about in the Vikings defense are Harrison Smith and Eric Kendricks, and they don't cover Darnell Mooney. So, Darnell Mooney, all he has to do is be Damiere Byrd or Jakeem Grant for one play, and he scores a touchdown.
Yep.
So,
It's as
maybe
simple as that.
it's as simple as that, Akash. He just has to be.
Laid out
He has to be.
perfectly.
He has to be better than Damiere Byrd and Jakeem Grant. And to me, that's kind of
Josh.
easy. So,
Darnell Mooney.
Josh.
Vikings allow the most fantasy points to
Moon
wide
dog.
receivers, so this is easy smash for me.
lunar puppy.
Okay. Second favorite Zolo. He made an addendum. It's pick 2, not pick 1. Mooney, Ayuk, Beasley, Christian Kirk, or Sterling Shepard. Akash.
Yeah, this is like the whole, just a bunch of wide receiver 2s and 3s. Ayuk is one for me, and then I'm gonna go Beasley, I think, because Manny's out. Gabe still isn't good despite catching touchdowns on Twitter, liking him, and the Bills pass a lot and play. I don't know how good Carolina is against receivers or slot receivers, but Beasley's fine volume, and same with Ayuk. So roll with those 2.
Ryan.
Ayuk and Kirk for me. I think Kirk has a big role with Hopkins shutdown.
Josh.
That's rude.
I'm
He
gonna go
says
Mooney and
except Joe,
Ayuk.
so I skipped you. He doesn't want to hear
Yeah,
you.
I'm gonna go Mooney and Ayuk, but I do like Christian Kirk this week. So if you,
So Ayuk can take your pick, not Sterling.
yeah,
Shepard.
that really kind of feels the consensus here is go Ayuk. But again, I think Mooney probably has the most upside of any of them. Ayuk has a pretty safe floor. They've already ruled out Elijah Mitchell, and anytime Mitchell's out, they use Debo a lot in the backfield,
As
which
running back,
caps
yeah.
Jake Wilson's upside. But that keeps Ayuk's floor pretty steady. So
I'm not playing him in any league, so I'm confused why I'm not supposed to. I checked all 3 leagues I'm in with him.
Because he doesn't.
Because he's your brother.
Oh, well, it's Mooney and Christian Kirk, G. So there's your answer. You're welcome. You didn't ask for it, but you got it. Most like everyone's opinions on this show.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch from Beasley to Mooney.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
If that turns out wrong, I'll just blame you guys.
there you go.
That's fair.
Joe.
Mooney has
most
a good
people
matchup
do.
with
It's okay.
Debo.
Do you know how many people blame me? A lot.
Everybody. J-Rob Gallup or AJ Dillon. Pick 1. Akash.
Oh.
J-Rob, easy. Everyone's
Easy.
gonna agree with me, so we can move on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, with
Okay,
Urban Meyer
Rob,
fired?
dude.
Yeah.
Yes,
Urban
Oh,
Meyer
yeah.
fired? Oh.
Smash. Carlos
You
Hyde is
didn't
out.
share
They're-
big news,
The
Ryan.
stars are lining up.
I did.
J-Rob's
I,
gonna give
I
you enough
kind of jumped
points
on
to
the
make it for
COVID
the last
thing.
2 weeks.
You did. You skipped the Urban Meyer firing news.
Urban Meyer has been kicked out of.
Oh, you made the joke, you dick. I
Urban
wanted to
has
make
been
it.
fired.
Oh, I wanted to
Urban
make
fired.
it. I wanted
Yeah,
to
J
make
Rob's
it.
gonna. There's a good chance against Houston. I would not be shocked if James Robinson breaks the single game rushing record this week.
The Jaguars are for everyone.
What are you counting, Ryan?
No, everyone.
J-Rob touchdowns.
Oh, I was like, what is happening down there?
So I don't know if you guys saw the like introductory conference or whatever. Maybe it was just like the weekly meeting that the head coach has to do. But it was Daryl Bevell, and a reporter asked him a question. How do you? Because I knew your dumbass wouldn't say Ayuk, you bum. Yeah. I am required by law to not say Brandon Ayuk because I've been so off of him all season that I was so right on Deebo Samuel. I don't want to say Brandon Ayuk, but also I do feel Mooney and Christian Kirk are very much good plays. That's fair. That's fair.
funny.
I get that. But in Darryl Bevel's conference or whatever with the media, someone said, Darryl, how does it feel to potentially be set up in a situation where your interim head coach can have more wins than the actual head coach that was hired at the beginning of the season? And he said nothing. He just chuckled and said, let's go on to the next question. Oh, God, Darryl, I wish you kicked Urban Meyer on the press conference podium like he kicked Josh Lambo. Get revenge for your kicker.
Did you see the comment made? Their interim head coach was asked about J-Rob, and he's like, he's our starter. We're going to play him.
We're going to treat him as such. Yep,
he's the best player on our roster, and it's not even close.
It's like that's rocket science or something.
Again, NFL head coaches are stupid. It is
Urban
very
Meyer is
simple.
stupid.
Urban Meyer was stupid when he was an NCAA
Urban Meyer's
coach.
not even a head coach.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Even more true now.
Yeah.
Josh, did you answer that question? Oh, you all agreed. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Maxwell wants to know Taysom or Hurts, Akash.
Hurts, right? I mean,
He's on Tuesday. That's the Tuesday theory.
We're not
that
sure that Hurts is even going to play at this point.
Yeah.
it's
That's the issue. Is it's not
New
just
Orleans
a
against
COVID.
Tampa, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Sunday night.
that's not ideal.
Not good. Not good.
But
No bueno.
I think you can just rock with. I think you can rock with Hurts because I'm not expecting a bunch from Taysom because it's a tough matchup for passing and rushing. They're a bit worse against the pass, which isn't Taysom's strong suit, obviously. So it's a weakness against weakness there, whereas Hurts has just been pretty good all year. I think, it's not ideal that he plays on Tuesday, but I think he'll be fine.
So I'm going to change Max's question because I think we would all agree Hurts. Would you cut Taysom to sign Gardner Minshew so that you're safe on Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it until Sunday, so that way nobody else.
So no one else can play Taysom against you.
Genius.
Actually,
Hopefully whoever is playing against Maxwell is not watching right now and does that just to be
Maxwell, you want someone to play Taysom Hill against you this week. You want
That's a good point, too.
You want someone to play Taysom Hill against you this week. Trust me. Drop him now. Pick up Gardner Minshew. Pray to God the person that saw you drop Taysom Hill is the person you're playing. He picks him up. Then you play Taysom. Then he plays Taysom Hill against you. But you pick up the quarterback that he dropped and play that quarterback against him. Mind fuck with him, and you beat him. And then you go to his house and you light a piece of turd on fire in a paper bag and say, "Fuck you, dude! I beat you. I played your mind."
Oh my
I guess it all
God.
depends on how your waivers are set up, whether or not
He loves it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
just got to be careful with Hurts. Everything that's coming out of Philly right now, him and Gardner Minshew, they're literally splitting first-team reps because they're not 100% sure that Hurts is going to be healthy enough. Them pushing this game back, they're going to play 3 games in 13 days because they're moving this game to Tuesday.
So you may want Minshew to begin with.
They might need to rest Jalen Hurts. Washington now is getting back a lot of their players on defense from COVID, so it's going to be a very interesting game. But I ultimately think they end up starting Minshew in this game, personally.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so firefighter, his Arby's are Cook, Eckler,
What is he
Devontae,
shouting for?
Stevenson.
He's not shouting. He's exclaiming.
He
Excited.
is proud of this lineup, and I'm
proud of it too.
I'd be proud.
Yeah, I'm proud of it too. It's a good lineup.
He already used Eckler. He's got Cook going Monday night, and that left to Stevenson or Devontae at flex. So
Yeah,
there's his reasoning.
You're not playing Devante over Dalvin Cook, so
Nope.
yeah, go Ramondre Stevenson. Good lineup, very good lineup.
Okay, in Elixir's quote-unquote beautiful standard, he wants to know Noah Fanta, Foster Moore, ew, or David, no joke, you.
I love the nicknames he's been coming up with his players.
Yeah.
He did this on Wednesday too. It was a good laugh.
Okay. Literal lightning round. Akash.
Yeah, I say we're getting close.
Pick one.
Fant,
Give me a name.
Fant. He's the only one that's probably good at football. And
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, I hate all of them. But I guess I would go fan but I guess I would go fan as well.
Orange soda.
Josh. Fanta makes more than just orange soda, by the way.
Grape soda.
Yeah, they also
Pineapple,
make this
strawberry.
blue flavor.
They
They
make
make
Their pineapple
um,
soda's legit, though. Josh.
If
Oh.
Cleveland hadn't been moved to Monday, I would go Njoku, but give me Fanta.
Wanna Fanta? Don't you wanna? FYO stats, pick 3. Adams, Cooper, Evans, Samuel Jefferson, or Deontay Johnson.
Oh,
How do you have this lineup?
I mean, you can rule Samuel out. Oh, wait, that's Debo. Never
Adams,
mind.
Jefferson,
What?
Holy crap.
Deontay.
Okay, do you want to go to the QB question while you're thinking about that? Because Ryan looks like he's so perplexed.
He went heavy wide receiver in the draft. He said, "Who the fuck are your running backs?"
I know, right?
I like
That smells like zero RB.
That is zero RB to a T.
That sounds like doing 0 RB for the first few rounds and then scamming your league mates to get some extra players.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I don't know how you bench Mike Evans. I feel like he's gonna have a
It's like-
He has
monster week.
Jonathan Taylor?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's got
I would
Taylor and
say, like,
Henderson.
Bruh.
I would go Deontay over Evans just because of the matchup. Like,
Yeah.
you're really getting down to 2 good players who have good production all year. Then you just come down to the matchup where Evans plays Lattimore. It's enough as of a tiebreaker to me where I'd go Deontay as their third guy.
Word
Ryan.
for word what Akash said. That's exact. I would have to bench Evans, which is just heartbreaking, but you can't bench Adams or Jefferson. That's not a statistical possibility. And then I would go Deontay Johnson. So
Joe.
Yeah, Samuel against Atlanta is interesting, but over the last few weeks, they've been using him less as a receiver, more as a rusher. And over the course of the year, they found roles for all 3 of IU, Kittle, and Debo. I don't think that there's any like the volume Samuel was seeing at the beginning of the year was cool, but I really think that his role now is going to be less of what he saw at the beginning of the year as a receiver, and he's not going to run in touchdowns every game. So
it's crazy.
it's a little bit of a downgrade. It's not a huge slight, but it's enough for me to go Deontay over him.
Yeah.
Joe.
Devontae, JJ, and Debo.
Josh.
I mean, I'm not sitting Adams. Adams, Jefferson. For me, this boils down to Debo versus
It's Deontay Johnson. Shut up. You know what it is.
I was going to say,
We
come
know it's
on.
Deontay.
Anybody
We
who
know it's
knows you knows that it's Deontay.
And also in
Deontay.
unison, Aaron Rodgers. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Pick 2 for Noah: Stevenson, Carter, Javante, or Daryl Henderson. Akash.
Ramondre and Carter.
Wheezy.
I want it to be Carter. I think I would go Devonta just because I don't quite know what's going to happen with that Jets game.
And
They said he's
Ramondre, I'm
good.
assuming, Ryan. Is that your other one?
Oh, Ramondre for sure. Yes, absolutely.
Joe.
The 2 bowling balls, Stevenson and Devontae Williams. Literally built like human bowling balls.
Josh.
Definitely Stevenson. I'm going to lean Javante, but I do like Carter this week. But I don't think they've officially activated him off of IR yet. So
It would have to be today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You're getting a timeshare with both Carter and Williams. So I like Williams' matchup a little bit better. So I'll go Javante.
And his timeshare a lot better.
Yeah, that's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Carter is less of a timeshare, I think.
I'd say it just depends on how they're going to use him when he gets back. Because going into his injury, I would have said Carter in this exact situation, but it's just hard to say now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said he'll play. They said he'll be used
The lead
fully.
back,
So then, like, that's confirmation. That's all the confirmation I need to go.
There you
with
go.
him. If there was more uncertainty, I would go Devontae, but I'm good.
Faith is typing.
What are
I
we doing?
am typing.
I'll go to that one.
Oh, never mind.
We
Thank
got
you,
time.
Joe, for
We have a
Time.
minute.
this question's going to take Akash longer than a minute. So
That's fine. That's what we're here for. What do we have to cut off exactly at an hour? Jeez.
Eighth might have to leave, so there's that.
I just
thank you for thinking of anybody but yourself.
Oh my God, we've already wasted too much time.
How do you think the Cardinals' backfield plays out the rest of the way in terms of touch percentage, i.e., James Conner and Chase Edmonds, and the field, Akash?
Similar to the beginning of the year, with maybe a little bit less of Chase Edmonds, just because of the way that high ankle sprains affect players for a few games after they come back. I think Connor's still going to be used in the high value touches of the red zone, whereas Chase Edmonds is a receiver. But I think what James Conner's done over the past few games has shown that I think it's going to be more used as a receiver than he was at the beginning of the season, where he was really seeing like 1 or 2 targets per game. I think he'll go up just a little bit, enough to make Edmonds less unplayable, like more unplayable than he was at the beginning of the year when he was an RB3, and enough to keep Connor as high RB2.
Ryan.
Perfect. That's exactly it. I don't expect the 7 to 8 target games out of Edmonds anymore. Connor has proven what he can do as a pass catcher as well. I think it's no longer 1A, 1B. It is a true Connor
1-2
and Edmonds. Yep.
It's like Drake and Edmonds last year, I think.
Yeah.
Joe.
Edmonds will catch passes. James Conner will score the touchdowns.
Beautiful,
Josh.
beautiful breakdown.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change much. I will say Kingsbury's going to be cautious with Connor. He obviously wants to keep him healthy. And we've seen Connor wear down with these heavier workloads, and he's been getting that a lot lately. So I feel like we could see the end of the regular season more of what we saw in the beginning of the season, more Edmonds receiving, more Connor rushing, getting the touchdowns. But then when the playoffs roll around, we might get back to that high usage Connor, just because he's been so effective as both a runner and a receiver that all bets will be off, because it's, they don't want to go one and done in the playoffs.
Stats says that he only drafted 2 RBs, but he has since picked up Sonny Michel and Devonta Freeman from waivers.
This is why 0 RB works. That's a good.
I was gonna say that's
a good way to do it.
Those wide receivers.
You
don't need to draft RBs, guys. Come on.
Well, I say, to be fair, he hero RB'd though, because he has Jonathan.
Yeah.
He's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
The fact that he got Jonathan
That's
Taylor
number 2 running
plus
back,
all of those wide receivers.
it means you scammed your league mates. Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll give you Julio Jones if you give me Jonathan Taylor and Mike Evans. Okay, does that sound fair?
Listen, you're in a 10-team league. I don't know if you have room for 2 more next year, but I would like to take money from your league mates as well. So
that would make it a 12-team league.
That's totally fine. I'd like
we
to.
We can all run 2 teams together.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
He had the 101. He took Taylor.
I was gonna say this is a move that would make John Helmkamp proud.
And Ryan and I, because we're on the
JT
101 now.
That's some foresight right there.
I was just gonna say that was some balls over Christian McCaffrey, and I bet after 3 weeks you weren't very happy about that.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you were very happy about
and
that.
Then you were very, very happy about it.
Yeah.
I think I have one piece of CMC across my 13 leagues, and it's in a league that I took over halfway through the season. So I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to be overexposed to a guy like that unless you just trade from him in a bunch of dynasty, because it's 8.3% chance you get the 101 in a redraft, and if that's the pick you get, then you get CMC. And so that's pretty much how much rostership you have of him.
Boom.
I don't know anymore. I've been up.
That was math, Faith. We know it's not your strong suit. So.
I've been up for 12 and a half hours. Okay.
Faith, with 3 minutes over. Come on, let's wrap it up. Come on.
I knew it. I was just waiting.
You know what's coming. Come on.
And
so
literally am the face of the Wednesday show. You can't just kick me off like that.
I can. I just
thank you, Akash. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Akash, you killed it, buddy.
Yes,
we
good.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. This is great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining this circus, of which I am the ringmaster. Fun fact, a week from today is Josh's absolutely favorite holiday, Christmas. And what you should do is post a bunch of Christmas music videos to Twitter and tag him, because he really loves Christmas music.
Wait, hold on. But for real, when are we doing our next Starts at Different Day show? Because
I'm getting ready to say that.
Okay.
It is not on Christmas Day because everybody will be with their family. So we are having.
Not me. I'll be working.
You'll be with your work family.
And drunk people.
And drunk people.
Yeah.
So basically, family.
Only drunk people, yeah.
We are having a very special edition of our Saturday Start Sit Different Day on Thursday evening.
A different day.
On another different day at 7 p.m. Eastern before Thursday Night Football kicks off. So come hang out with us. Get in your last minute Start Sit questions for Thursday, for the weekend. See if maybe we have games on normal days, or if it's a Christmas fakakta and we just get games whenever. Who knows anymore?
Starts at different day.
Yes. SSDDD.
Love the triple D.
Oh my God, get us out of here. I have things to do.
You guys leave me too much time.
At FF_Leap of Faith, for Josh at the one Hudsonian, Joe at Joe_Zolo, Ryan at the Fantasy 5, and Akash at YZR_Fantasy. This has been Start Sit Different Day. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you have questions that we didn't get to, hit up Club Fantasy on Twitter at Club Fantasy FFL. Any number of people will be happy to help you out. The boys, plus the number of intelligent fantasy minds floating around on Twitter. Again, we will see you Thursday night. Good luck this week. May everybody who's supposed to play actually play. And may your fantasy playoffs not be totally screwed up, especially mine, because I commission a league and I don't want to deal with that. So on that note, Josh, take us out.
Be sure to check out the website, www.clubfantasy.
Why do we throw to him? Why do we throw to him? Why do we?
Because I get yelled at if I don't.
We should be doing it to Joe. He's better.
Follow Club Fantasy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Club Fantasy FFL. The URL is clubfantasyffl.com. For Josh, Faith, Akash, Ryan, and Joe, this has been Starts at Different Day. You'll see myself, Josh, and Ryan on Wednesday. You'll see Ryan tomorrow with Kira for their DFS show, and you'll see all of us on Thursday, just before Thursday Night Football on December 23rd, to answer all of your Starts at Different Day questions. You can follow Akash and all the amazing stuff he does at YZR_Fantasy. Let's get out of here. No, you didn't.
I did do all the handles.
Yeah. Hit the music.
There you
Let
go.
the music play.